just thinking about the model minority stereotype and what that actually means to me really just comes down to what people automatically believe. It is a stereotype, so there's no really positive or negative that should be looked into that. It just comes down to what people are believing on a regular basis. So for me, that means the idea that we're really looking at people viewing the Asian American students as actually, or Asian American folks as being ones who are very industrious, who don't cause a lot of waves, who try really hard and put a lot of effort into things, and that every single one of those people, like any stereotype, that those characteristics are the same for everybody within that population. So that's where I would actually see it for myself, is that I'm kind of lumped in personally with other people just simply because of background and not necessarily based upon personality or individual experiences or anything like that.
I personally think that the model minority stereotype has affected me in my academic and personal life since a very young age. I never really got a say in where I wanted to go to school. When I was in kindergarten, I was told I was really smart. I tested out of regular school. I went to magnet school. And when I had chosen my magnet school for elementary school, it I didn't have much of a say. My dad wanted me to go to a very science and math based school. So that's kind of what I developed into. I didn't have a say in what I wanted to do. I wanted to go into the arts. And so instead, my parents had me focus on health. And it's something that I've learned to love, but it's not something that I've loved from the start.
So, my mom has always pushed me to be doing nursing school or be a doctor or a lawyer, and I'd be like, why? And she'd be like, well, it's what everyone else is doing, like your family, your cousin, so and so's daughter. And I'm like, well, I really don't want to. I really want to pursue public health. And she's still against it, or she's not really happy for me that much. And every time I go home, everyone always forgets like what my major is, even though I tell them all the time, and they just assume like I'm in nursing school or pre-nursing when I'm really not.
So the effect on the model minority stereotype on kind of mental health, particularly within children, is something that is of concern. Again, because with many things that align with stereotypes, it's really hard to kind of pick out and see where that is, especially if it's ingrained not within you as a child, but within your family and what they believe and what how that's being conveyed to you. So I think the difficulty is that when we're looking at something like a model minority stereotype, particularly when we're looking at something like a education ability or intelligence ability or things like that, there's a lot of pressure that gets put on the students. I mean, I'll be honest, there's pressure enough from our own families saying you need to do well in school, but from other people expecting you to perform in that level can be very stressful. And the idea of getting an A may not be an easy process to get the A, but if there's an expectation that that always is happening, it's something that really can start to affect an individual because when they say, let's say they get to college and the first thing they experience is, oh, I just got a B on something, I never get B's. The effect on something like that, because it's been so ingrained, can actually make a bigger impact than somebody who's already dealt with failure before. It's almost a matter of you've got this level that you've got to meet, and if you're not at that level, then you're somehow not meeting up to who you're supposed to be, even though that is a made up or a perceived characteristic that other people are seeing of you as a result of the model minority stereotype.